Hello there everyone, Shibby here. Hope everyone out there is doing well and back once again with some more Pokemon trading card game Pocket ranked matches. In today's video, I felt like trying out this all-Umbreon deck that I've put together, see if I can manage to win a game or two online with it. Now, this deck's composition is really simple. It just revolves around Umbreon EX and then the normal version of Umbreon that came with the Eevee Groove set. We're also running Eevee EX and the Eevee that came with the Eevee Groove set as well. So we're just running all Umbreon just to see if there's any synergy between these two cards. On paper, I think it could do halfway decently, I think. If you're unfamiliar with what each Umbreon does, Umbreon EX has a built-in Cyrus when it's effect, so you don't really need to run Cyrus unless you really want to. So you can bring in any damage Pokemon on your opponent's bench to the active slot, and Umbreon, the normal one, can prevent basic Pokemon from attacking. So in theory, if we run into anything like a Giratina, Tapu Koko, Darkrai, anything that's a big heavy hitter, but it's a basic, they can prevent it from attacking. And if they have to retreat it, pull it back in with Umbreon EX. If everything goes according to plan on paper, we're just going to see if I happen to get that lucky and this will work. But in case you're curious, I'll have the entire deck list in the description of the video below, should you want to try this deck out for yourself or simply improve upon it. But yeah, let's go see if this deck will actually work at all. I'll be back when I find my first match. Alrighty, looks like I found my first opponent here, and we do have the good fortune of going second. But going first wouldn't have been the end of the world, because neither Umbreon takes a whole lot to get going. We need 2 energy max for either one. But let's see what we're up against. Alright, they're running an Eevee, could be anything. They're also running Dark Energy, so it could also very well be an Umbreon deck, or maybe Darkrai or something like that. Or they could just be running Sylveon to get the draws. Could be any plethora of things. But we do start out with Umbreon EX in our hand, which is nice. We can evolve sooner rather than later, and we get both. Okay. And we got a Dark Pendant and a Poison Barb pick from here. Right, we get an Ino, a Pokeball, so we can get another Eevee on our bench. Then we get a normal Eevee, which is fine. Put energy to our Eevee here. Now, let's see. The Dark Pendant, they attack me. They have to shuffle a card from their hand into their deck, and the Poison Barb, of course, Poison Barb. They'll get poisoned, but we can't play the Dark Pendant this turn, is the thing. So I think I'll spin the Poison Barb on this Eevee, and then use the Dark Pendant on the other one on the bench. That's my game plan, and I've already committed to it. Okay, well, we chip away at this Eevee for 30 damage. Let's hope this one survives. Alright, they're going to oak it up and live a little here. Alright, I do wonder what we're up against. Okay, Greninja. Interesting. So this could be some sort of sniper deck. They could be running Darkrai as well alongside Greninja. So we don't want to be, or we don't want to act slowly, I should say. Now it looks like they're running Dark Energy only, so Greninja will never be a threat to attack us outright, just snipe us. So it's still annoying, but either way. But they're going to evolve into their Umbreon. They're actually going to get both up, so they're running a similar deck to me. Other than they're running Greninja and I'm not. Now our Eevee can't attack next turn, which is fine because it's going to evolve anyway to a non-basic. And we have a Sabrina as well. Let's put an energy into our Eevee here. And let's evolve it into our fancy Umbreon. And we'll also evolve this one on the bench, making this Umbreon effectively useless other than for damage. And I will go ahead and put my Dark Pendant on this one. Now we are running a couple Eevee bags, so we can heal or do more damage in the future. But right now we're just going to have to live with what we got. But thankfully it didn't take this other Umbreon too much to get going. And they're going to opt to bring this one into the active spot because they don't want to lose Greninja. Or the opportunity to have Greninja, I should say. But where they brought that into the active spot, they're actually not going to be able to run with Umbreon. Okay, that's fine. I wonder why they brought it to the active spot to begin with. Okay, we get another Umbreon here. Put an energy to our one on the bench. Right, this one's hurt, so it does suck. And if they draw into Greninja, they will be able to KO this Umbreon, which is unfortunate. But we're just going to have to hope that doesn't happen. But the bright side is Umbreon's going to get poisoned, I guess, if they do manage to KO this Umbreon that I have. Alright, they do have their Greninja, so they can KO me here. It's too bad I didn't draw into the Eevee bag. I could have possibly played Ino, but I would have lost. We only would have been able to draw 2 cards. And usually with my luck with Ino is that I draw the same 2 cards that I just lost. But alright. We are going to lose the Umbreon. But thankfully, this one is poisoned. And let's bring this one to the forefront. Now attacking me, this makes them have to get rid of a card. But who knows how annoying that actually will be. Now we got 2 points. So I don't know if the wiser choice would be to bring in Greninja or to bring in Umbreon. Well, we make them waste an energy if we bring Greninja in because they have to swap, but I guess it really doesn't matter. We'll play Sabrina since we only need 1 point. And if they have an Eevee bag, they won't be able to play it on Greninja. So we will attack Greninja. Make them waste an energy to get it out, and we can pull it back in for free. If I got Darkrai. Alright, that only drops me down to 100. And even with an Eevee bag, this does not KO me. And they put an energy into Darkrai, so they actually can't Greninja out. Well, they have an X speed. So I'll take back what I said there. But they still can't KO me. Yeah, we do still live. They have nothing to discard, so they got nothing really to worry about here. Alright, well, we're going to play Dark Chase. We're not we're going to use Dark Chase. We're going to bring in the Greninja. KO it. And steal a game here. We didn't really see any of our other Eevees. So we couldn't really play any of our other Umbreons, but they wouldn't really been too helpful in that particular matchup. But managed to get a win on the board with our Umbreon deck versus the Umbreon and Greninja Darkrai deck that we went up against. That deck might be the smarter option, but we're going to still stick it out with the all-Umbreon deck and see what we can do here. But good game to the opponent. Know back when I find my next match. Alrighty, looks like I found my next opponent here, and we get lucky enough to go second once again, which is always good. Alright, 1 Eevee, 1 Umbreon, so not the worst hand. I see more Dark Energy. Okay, so Crobat, potentially. And I forget the final evolution of Venipede. If I even said that name right. But it is Venipede, okay. I'm not that much of an idiot, I guess. So this is some sort of poison Darkrai deck. Of course, if you're running Dark, it is smart to run Darkrai, of course. I actually don't think I have a Darkrai card, now that I think about it. I don't think I've ever drawn Darkrai. Of course, my drawing luck has never been particularly great, but I do manage to luck into things sometimes. Alright, we get a poison Barb of our own. Let's put an energy into our Eevee so we can draw a card. Get another Eevee on our bench for a little bit of security here. And we'll go and put this poison Barb into this Eevee just because we can. And we'll oak it up. We get another Pokeball and another Umbreon, which is good. And we get an Eevee EX. Go ahead and put that on our bench. We can do a massive evolution next turn, as in we can evolve twice. And we'll just go ahead and draw a card. we get another Sabrina. Not a bad thing. Though we will lose one of them if I do end up attacking this Zubat next turn. All right, they want to Sabrina something in. That is a little bit of a pain in the ass. I'll bring in the other Eevee. And this Eevee is poisoned, unfortunately. Alright, so we got some options. So I'm going to evolve this one on the bench. Also, just go ahead and evolve this one. So we can get the poison off of it. And we'll evolve this one into another Umbreon as well. Gonna energy into this one. I don't want to lose one of these Sabrinas, so we're gonna just go ahead and bring something in here. And unless they evolve, they can't attack me, so that's also good. Now, we don't want to get that Darkrai going, but we do have ways to play around it, thankfully, with Umbreon. But we have to deal with Venipede and Crobat. Alright, we can still KO it with Umbreon. So we do have that. And they're going to concede the Venipede. I wonder why they wasted the potion there. But we'll put an energy into this Umbreon just to get it going. And we'll take out the Venipede. Now we do have Zubat and Darkrai to contend with. But if they attack me, they lose a card. If I attack them, I lose a card. But I do believe next turn we are going to get this Umbreon out. Alright, they're going to opt to put the energy into Darkrai. Makes sense. But let's see what they opt to do here. Alright, they just attack with Zubat. And they lose a red, which is nice. But we are going to get Umbreon out of here. And we get our second Umbreon EX. Let's retreat. Let's bring in this Umbreon. Now, KOing the Zubat will cost me an Umbreon or a Sabrina. So let's not do that. Let's bring in Darkrai. And Darkrai can't really run from me, which is nice. So we should be able to KO it next turn, no matter what, unless they have something to heal Darkrai. Which they very well could. Alright. A little bit of a pain in the ass, but that's okay. But if they can't heal Darkrai here, they still lose, because I'm just going to pull it in. Alright, they're going to bench swap. Alright, even if they were to evolve into Crobat, we'd still be fine. But we'll just take the 10 from the poison damage. And we get Oak. Put energy into this Umbreon because we can. Go ahead and play Oak. Alright, we do get an Eevee bag. Use Dark Chase. Let's bring in Darkrai. And let's go ahead and KO and go for the win. Alright, I wonder if they're even running Crobat at all, or if they just wanted the poison effect from Zubat. Who really knows? Only they know. But we managed to get a win there, taking out Darkrai, Zubat, and a Venipede. So I guess poison is probably what they're more leaning into. But thankfully we were able to put a stop to that before it could have got way out of hand. But good game to that opponent. I'll be back when I find my next match. Alrighty, looks like I found my final opponent here. And we can go second once again. That's very, very lucky that we've went second 3 times in a row. But how long will my actual luck last? I do have an Umbreon in hand, but not Umbreon EX, which is kind of what I want to start with. But That's okay. At least we have an Umbreon of some sort. But I see fire energy back there. Alright, so we're going up against a cargo deck, right? That was Slugma evolves into. I'm trying to remember. Alright, so we definitely want to prevent that from happening. So we'll play Pokeball, get another Eevee. The Eevee EX, that's fine. And we'll oak it up and live a little here. Hopefully one of these is EX Umbreon. Or Umbreon EX, however you want to say it. Alright, it's another Eevee. Nothing wrong with that. And we'll draw a card to mill out our deck even further. And there's the Umbreon EX I was sitting on. Okay, all good things. All good things. Oh, well, this actually is just game over. That's very unfortunate for them that they bricked. Well, alright. Well, they couldn't get their Mercargo out. They had no bench Pokemon, so this is going to be a very, very, very fast one. But alright, we managed to get another win for Umbreon. That was intended to be my last duel, but since it was so short, against my better judgment, I will risk a loss and go find one more match. But good game to that opponent, and I'll be back when I find my next game. Alrighty, now I found my for real final opponent. We're going second again. I've never gone second 4 times in a row that I can recall. And here's the bad luck. We got 2 Oaks, but no Umbreons. And we're going up against another poison deck, but this one has Nihilego, so we need to get going as fast as possible, but with no Eeveelutions, that does make it a little harder. So hopefully I will see Umbreon EX this next turn. I got a Poison Barb. All right. Not terrible. Could be worse. But all right. Hopefully this Oak will give me an Umbreon of some sort. All right. We get a Pokeball. We get another Eevee. All right. We're seeing more Pokemon. Just not the ones that I need at the moment. But we are milling out our deck further. And they can't attack me outright next turn anyway. So we'll draw a card. And we do get an Umbreon. Okay. We got an Umbreon of some kind, which was part of the battle. And we get an Eevee bag. All right, I'm going to not evolve yet. I want to see if I can luck into an Umbreon EX first. And we did. So we can get rid of that Nihilego and not have to worry about poison. Or at least double poison damage, I should say. Let's go ahead and get 2 energy into our boss monster. Take out the Nihilego. So now we won't take, I think it's a 10 or 20 additional damage from poison. Either way, not a problem now, unless another Nihilego pops up. But let's see what they do here. And they conceded. All right. They probably bricked pretty hard, unfortunately for them. But good for me. Well, all right. Well, I will end the video there, though, as I said before. Those last 2 matches ended up being pretty quick. Good for me. I guess I've said that 10 times. But all right. Well, not a bad showing for the Umbreon deck. We went 4-0. Which is a lot better than what I thought. A lot better than the all-Espeon deck that I tried not that long ago. But maybe Umbreon's just the best of the Eeveelutions. How about that? But all right, well, good games up. I don't know if I didn't say that already. If you made it this far in the video, do thank you for watching. Like, subscribe if you feel like it. I'll catch you guys in the next one.